Hey, Joe Blasco here. Have you ever wondered how makeup artists are able to create a really beautiful, flawless, even finish of application of a foundation? All right, we call it sometimes a makeup base. Actually, the term foundation has gone through many, many stages of evolution. Back in the 30s and 40s, they used to call it ground color. All right, then it became makeup base, and now it's foundation. All right, so sometimes they're interchangeable. All right, now, how do we apply it so that it's perfect and it's even and not splotchy or blotchy? Okay, well, we use white microporous sponges. Now, these sponges here are specially designed, all right? These are specially designed. These are not like the white sponges that you buy, at a drugstore, all right? No, no, no. These are, now let me open this for you. Okay. Let me show you how these work. All right, pull these out. Check it out, all right? Nice, huh? Now, it breaks off. Okay, now, what do we have here? We've got a sponge that has a slanted applicator surface, all right? And all you do is you take your foundation, let's say like so, all right? Here is your Ultra Base foundation. And to start your Ultra Base foundation, you press the sponge on, you wiggle it around a little bit to break the surface, and then from that point on, you pat it and you apply it. You apply it very, very evenly. You apply it evenly over all the entire surface of your skin, okay? And you can use several different shades of makeup base, foundation. Sometimes you can use a lighter shade down the center. You can use a darker shade around the sides. You can use a darker shade along the sides of your nose to give your nose dimension. You can use a darker shade right here under your cheek, under your jawline, and under your cheekbones as well to do shading, all right? But what's the trick? What do you use? You use a sponge. You can use a brush also. Now, there are foundation brushes that work very, very well. But if you really, really want to get perfect, absolutely flawless coverage, I always use a sponge. Sometimes I'll use a foundation brush first, and then I'll go over it and I'll pat areas out to create to give myself a more continuous surface that's more even. All right, and now when you use this sponge and it gets soiled, all right, of course, you don't want to sit it down and use it again after it's been soiled and sitting for a while. So what do? You take a scissors, a large kind of, regular scissors that's powerful, all right? And you trim it like so, all right? You cut off the very top 1/4 inch of this, or less, 1/8 of an inch of the sponge, and you throw that out, and you then have a brand new surface. So out of every one of these sponges, you can probably get, let's say here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost a whole week of usage out of this sponge. Now, I know a lot of people that keep using it without cutting it off. Now, that's really not the right thing to do. All right, but if you are the only person, obviously, that's going to be using this, and you do that, you can wash these sponges, all right? That's another thing. They don't fall apart, all right? This is made out of a special synthetic rubber. It is not latex, so if you have an allergy to latex, don't worry about it. It's not going to affect you at all. It's a synthetic SBR type of rubber that you can wash, all right? And that's fabulous. All right, now, in the old days, we used to also cut off the edges with the scissors. We'd cut off the edge here and cut off the edge here, only because back in that day, the outside of the sponge had a thicker skin, and the inside of the sponge did not. It was very porous. So we wanted to use the porous part, all right, because the makeup back then was so full of oil, a lot of isopropyl myristate, terrible oil. Don't ever buy makeup that's got isopropyl myristate in it. All right, that's makeup remover. It'll help the makeup to break down faster, and it'll come off. Forget it. All right, so why did we do that? Is because we needed to. We needed to cut the sides off, because if we didn't, the sides being more dense would pick up more of the makeup, and when you went to apply it, it would leave lines. So we'd have to cut the side off so that that more porous area, the more spongy area, not so dense as the outside skin, would be all the way around, so that we could pat it on and go like so, and it wouldn't leave those harsh lines but this one doesn't. You don't have to do that with this, right? You can't do that with this, because it's completely the same kind of foam, not only on the outside skin, but also on the inside. So you don't need to do it. It's designed so that it doesn't absorb the makeup out of, I'm sorry, yeah, it doesn't absorb the makeup. A lot of the sponges were designed to absorb makeup so that you'd use up the makeup, all right? And a lot of the companies would manufacture sponges specific for that reason, so you would use up their makeup very quickly. And other sponges will absorb the oil out and leave then only the pigment on the surface of the sponge. So when you do that, you apply a very dry looking makeup, but this doesn't do that. All right, I did this originally for HD. This is a sponge that when you press makeup onto it, whatever you pressed onto it is the same amount you're going to apply onto the face, okay? So there you have it. These are the Joe Blasco White Microporous Sponge pack of 12. You see how they pull apart right there? All right, and where do you get it? You get it at the joeblasco.com website. So enjoy.